really well designed against Brandon Stevens. You got to beat man-to-man coverage, especially on 3rd and 4th down. Inside, then pivot, go back out. Great separation, and there's the accuracy.
And they are really becoming quite a connection.
Wow, what a release right there. And you said it, what a connection. This is a big time.
Yeah, one of the best cover guys in football. And you could see him open up, understands right now. I got that outside release.
There's the first deep ball connection of the game against Darius Williams outside. And
when they made him like a college recruit this offseason and got him to sign here in LA.
You're one-on-one on the outside here. Use that big body. Just getting ready, getting off the line of scrimmage. You got to
shot though. That's the matchup. Your number 1 wide receiver working against Mike Jackson. A little bit more air on the football. We can bring that one down.
Made that play, but 18 yards. Well, I mean, you look at the release, that pick.
George Kittle, the traditional tight end position. Akeem Davis-Gaither, that's easy. He's got him beat right off the line of scrimmage.
It's the way it works, but this is a great route. And he's an excellent receiver. I just really like what he's able to do. You watch him, and
here, and this is what you really miss if you're a Jets fan, a receiver that can do that. Separate.
Anytime he's one-on-one, I love the releases by Nico Collins, and then the body control for a guy who's 6'.
Rashid Shaheed just continues to get acclimated. It's so hard to anticipate the speed
of this Detroit defense.
Again, staying with the man-to-man coverage. We always talk about Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, how good they are. As a little grab of the arm.
We've seen a lot of man-to-man coverage from the Giants secondary. This is the infamous choice route by the slot receiver. He's got a 3-way go. So defenders inside.
A couple of weeks ago, he threw Flacco for 342 yards, but this is a matchup today we're going to watch.
We will see a lot of this today.
Yep. No question, this is going to be a stem in. I didn't know that he needed to stem as far inside.
Nothing fancy, zone coverage. They come off, and this is just called an in-cut, wide open to his primary receiver, Jetta.
Lassiter just didn't give him any room to get to the football.
Love the hands right here. Hand fighting by Lassiter.
Got to run with the speedster as he goes up the field. Here he is. Who wants that job? Not me. No thank you. And stride for stride, making the play.
Higbee, but take a look on the backside. Devontae Adams, he's their man one-on-one winner. And
you know, from the Niners, you've got two verticals going up the field, and as he breaks to the outside, there's nobody there. Gets layered over the top from that linebacker.
Winning aggressively in tight coverage on Stevenson. This is a drift concept. Play action fake. The linebackers stay.
There he is on the outside. He's just going to be working in one-on-one and gets on top, stacks, and then breaks to the outside. It gets that separation.
You don't want to see this race too often, and this race was only created because Hurts, again, scrambled and got out of the pocket. But they were spread.
Man-to-man, one-on-one. Tyson Campbell, a little bit of outside leverage against DeAndre Hopkins. You go and pull off somebody's practice squad, and he's not getting any playing time, and he comes to you, and he's made 5 huge catches today. Most of them on.
He keeps his eyes on him for the touchdown. Watch as he works outside. There's your first down. Nope. Turns it up as Young scrambles. And this is just
the jam. Diggs, watch him with the right arm. Misses him. So right at the line of scrimmage, he's beaten. You know, he took a chance, rolled the dice, knew.
On their opening drive. Started the game this way. Starting the half this way. Working against who?
Natron Brooks.
You need your guys to step up and make plays. We've talked about how big this possession was. Jacoby Brissett going for the big play.
Number 21, defense. Penalties declined.
All day. That is Isaiah Hodgins. He's come up with some big pass plays on 3rd down for the Giants.
4th. Aaron Glenn said, you know, we got a guy now that we can win downfield with. That's good against Gonzalez, one of the top corners in the league.
Personnel, jumbo, and then we're just going to run this right here in front. Bam, put your foot in the ground, square it off. They keep working him here and then gets back in here, just cutting across the faces of defenders. Bam. I think one of the things you're going to have.
Ball on the line, look a little disjointed. Just tight coverage.
And from up here, it looked like a decent throw, but the length and the size of Nashawn Wright going up over Addison just covers him up so easily. What a high point.
Wow.
You don't see that from deep.
Not trying to cut back into the middle, not trying to be a hero, just get out of bounds. So after he makes Forbes miss, Nice job understanding that stopping.
Jackson predicted he probably won't even celebrate. Got a couple of high fives, but that is it for Andrews. He's all business.
Just really nice timing and rhythm. This ball is going to come out of Stafford's hand before Nacua even gets his head around. And
him play tonight as he releases up the field vertically. You're going to see he stretches it, positions as though he's going to go up the seam, and it creates that separation.
He's got 6 in his last 3 games, but Reek Wallen, who has earned his way back into the good graces, breaks it up.
There's a good look at the route, and he's able to create the separation, and then it's just a foot race, and it's all George Pickens.
Pressed up into the line of scrimmage. Really nice route, wide open. Now Sewell, get your shots with your #1 receiver on the kind of stutter go. Adunze's got it by a step, and
he's got safety help. You can't allow the receiver on the inside, and you see him turn with his back to the middle of the field. He's anticipating that Pickens is going to stay up the outside boundary. Stokes, who I've talked about, who has played well. The ball coming out on time. They send CeeDee Lamb in a short motion to get him outside, and then he's just got to beat the defense.
Played the Seattle Seahawks in that style. We've seen them just carve up people all season long.
Because the best part of Shedeur Sanders' game is being able to throw from the pocket, which means you've got to protect him.
Gain of 12. Yeah, that'll be a pretty good matchup. Stokes, he'll play his side, so you'll see him matched up on Pickens as well as CeeDee Lamb. But touchdown will stand.
There's just no way to understand the kind of speed that guy has. Watch when he makes the break. And you've got Adoree Jackson who can really run.
CeeDee Lamb, that's where he's trying to go with the football, but instead it's taken away by Polamalu, the safety, and his
cornerback, but his strength is what you see. This bump and run jam. He attacks receivers off the line of scrimmage, and he was good enough on that one. So to have the backup corner in the game and
attempt a field goal as Kalen Carson had coverage.
Yeah, right idea. Bowers, he's going to body him up, and he turns much like.
He has struggled some in this game of being able to get completions and get the ball down the field. And this is when he's at his best. Play action, ball.
Deron Bland, their #1 corner. He's just locked up here on 3rd down and plays it perfect.
Oh, wow. And this Eagles defense was tremendous a year ago. But I'm not so sure by the time.
And I'm a little surprised by that because he was driving on this one hard. He read it perfectly. It's Kenneth Murray, the linebacker. And he tries dropping underneath it, but one of the few times that Geno Smith's been able to drop back and have a clean.
I would say everybody in Philadelphia needed that one. Maybe A.J. Brown more than he circled around it. And really the hot receiver in this game or big play guy has been Jahan Dotson. So we end up with a 3rd receiver finally becoming a factor for the Ross St. Brown, and he's going to take this thing across the field. A lot of times they'll want to go inside the next receiver, even inside the tackle in that situation. So,
and they're right there in the NFC South. Cowboys hurry up and lost 2 Thursdays ago in Denver.
Well, this is my first opportunity to watch him play live, and you watch him on film and how he began his career last year over.
Look at Andrews, and he won that one, Jason, I believe, with strength.
Safety look, and then there's no way he can stop it. You've got one of the great, powerful receivers, catch and run. Good luck.
Good job because we haven't heard his name much. And there's some fighting, hand fighting between both of them. But
a ball thrown downfield at a level not within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, whether it's over the middle or out on the perimeter. Getting Cedric Tillman downfield.
Cowboys did with the Steelers, and he has been their best.
Yeah, he really has. He's had a heck of a night here tonight. 100 yards there in that first half receiving. And I was going to mention, Joe, it is going to be interesting to see what happens to him at the end of this year and whether or not the Cowboys, that would be a lot of story.
Only 3 points on the board.
Amik Robertson started as a slot corner, moved outside, but watch this aggressive move in behind and before the offensive lineman could get out. This is once again an opportunity for this Detroit Lions defense.
Throw it away, live to play the next down, and after that 4th down stop, this Seahawks defense finds themselves.
He's going to end up at the top of your screen running by, and Watson.
again, it's just some missed assignments. Watch, everybody's going to come up. There's nobody behind, playing that deep half. Nobody turned and ran with him. So again,
everybody in receiving yards by more than 200 yards. Yeah, and what's really cool is just the transformation.
There's Michael Wilson on the outside. You just want to give him a chance, and it's played well by Diamador Lenore, running with him. Now he turns back, and you can see, the hands go up, but it.
Well, you see the outside leverage by Watson. He has really minimal help. It's actually receptions now, and thinking you're going to get an easy check down. Hufunga says no.
Jair Brown is in great position. I mean, this is a tight window. Look at the conversions right there by the defense. Found something here when Marvin Harrison gets back, with the appendectomy that he had this week. Now they know that.
Often. Kobe Durant's just able to sit on that ball.
6, and here comes the punt team.
Yeah, it's a great stand here by the Seattle defense. See Witherspoon, he was complaining.
And again, same thing we just said, this ball has to come off his hand. It's going to be contested, and Juwan Jennings does a great job.
Than it had been under Kyler Murray.
Yeah, and it was one of the things that Kyle mentioned. When you play against Kyler Murray, he's on the outside to the edge there. Watch on 34 to the inside. There's the swim right over top. That gives him his separation. Enforce things. It's Elijah Higgins on the outside, and as he breaks out that way, you can see him, but it's a great jump by Diamador Lenore. It just gets right in front of him, and then a heck of a return right there, but very un-Jacoby.
With his right toe. Watch this. He knows where he is. See how he just stubs that toe down into the ground? That is like teach tape around the league.
Few people on the planet, and Rice usually comes up with these. Jones doesn't even think it's coming. He just dropped it. We've had 2 or 3 ball that gets through. Watch, Barron's going to kind of grab him there.
Downs average over 30 yards a pop.
Yeah, you think Emmanuel Forbes? You think Forbes is worried about him going deep? Of course he is, because he is the ultimate.
I think one of the big things, and you see it every time you watch a San Francisco game, is the energy that they play with. And it's really contagious. You could see
here early on is coming in, they had been so run heavy, so heavy volume. But I really like mixing in these easy underneath completions, trying to get dark.
And he's doing it in rhythm and even faster than basically anybody else in the NFL.
Hey, take a look here. Just, again, soft coverage down in the red zone. Just nowhere for Darnold to go, and to kind of put a bow on the play style of the Rams and the
start getting a first down in the opening drives.
It's just a great play design when you can go ahead and run it.
3rd down. Yeah, great throw by Caleb. You're wondering if he got the football move with that 3rd step. Oh no, he bobbles at the hole. And then get a little juice from that. Simple in cut, runs up to the 30, just kind of breaks across, and an absolute A-plus throw. Wins the leverage downfield. He's probably can't believe he's open by that much.
To the 41.
Yeah, they're just playing a cover 2, and the corner's got to drop, but the safety Hooker's got to get over there, and you see him pushing at the ball, but he's just late. Collins.
Pass for Theo Johnson is complete for a first down.
Yes, Theo Johnson's a big-time target for them, but look at that throw. I mean, both these quarterbacks, pinpoint accuracy down the stretch here, keep this drive alive. We're going to contest every throw. We're going to play underneath on the short stuff. If they're going to beat us, make them try to beat us over the top. This is a great throw by Jordan Love. Really a play that you'd like.
Nice play here by the young player who has, when he was undrafted out of Florida Atlantic,
inside one-on-one with a wide receiver. I mean, you want to talk about having faith in your guy right there. Cody Barton running.
About, when he breaks the huddle, what's the first thing he's looking at as we watch Metcalf, and maybe he had a little bit of space?
Well, if the hard play fake there to the...
They tried to take their shot, send Wan'Dale Robinson in motion, so hopefully he can get a little bit of momentum on the corner, but really nice play by Bullard. I like the ball location, just good football. Tough snap. Jordan Love is able to handle that. He's throwing to the field. He likes his matchup with Christian Watson, but especially throwing into that corner. I mean, that's basically dead in the teeth. Yeah, watch this. Might have gotten away with a... I guess they were just kind of hand fighting. It looked like he might have gotten away with a push off there, but tell you what, great. Last time he threw the ball down the field to Golden, they got the pass interference penalty. Maybe he's just trying to give him a chance here, but
And it almost ended up being picked.
Yeah, I'm sure he wants this one back. Again, look, there's times where.
Well, what I'm impressed with is Jacksonville secondary is they're playing a lot of zone coverage, as good as it gets. But you look at this route, and this is just a scramble drill. And any DB, I don't care if you're Deion.
I'm going to say 270. I called him that earlier. That's a big man, and there's a stiff arm. There's a Derrick Henry for you, and then Geno Stone. You don't want any of that. Turner, you can try punching the ball out, but you're going to go backwards.
That's like a gnat hitting the windshield.
Yes.
So this is a really nice rip from Trevor Lawrence into a tight window. And again, the Chargers, with the way they play their zone coverage, they are going to force
the line of scrimmage, give them that option on the outside. And I mean, you want to talk about giving up space.
Giants defense is playing right now. Even this soft zone, I mean, they're rallying, tackling quickly. Jameis is really able to push the ball through this wind effectively today.
Higgins is just working a drag route, but watch as this play extends. He's not supposed to wheel this, but as the play breaks down, he's like, oh, I'm just going to go up the sideline. Flacco's able to find him.
Well, he has. He's been their leading receiver since week 7, and he's been a reliable target, and he's been one of the more.
And he's just going to release here and get out to the edge right here. So watch him on the crosser, then find that end line, beat the linebacker, and then suck that ball in real quick.
Played it brilliantly for Jacksonville.
That's the type of tight coverage that Jacksonville has to be able to have. It's man coverage, and they have not been a good man coverage football team.
You run into these stack formations, you're coming in here, you're going to get these releases, create some just traffic out there for Baker to
with a pivotal 3rd and 1 here from the LA 36.
The Chargers, they play a lot of zone coverage, almost as much as anybody.
I think that's always one of the things, reaching out, extending 1, 2, and then I think for just good measure, get another one in there. That's 3.
How the outcome of that play went. You'll see him at the top of the screen there, just one-on-one up the sideline, just trying to take a shot.
So they cloud this corner. In other words, this corner's just going to get hands on the receiver, but then his eyes are going back inside.
Great job just getting ISO'd on the top receiver, and you know he's just going to get to that sideline. Here's what I love.
This was a big pickup for the Giants. Obviously, they're short a couple guys at the receiver position this week. He's the one big target they have. You know, they've got a bunch of these smaller.
On it. Ball's accurately, ball's always going to be accurately thrown, but see that right hand works around the body to knock that away. Here's a 4-year starter at Alabama, Malachi Moore. Plays some star, plays some safety. I think his future in the NFL will be back there in the deep.
Tyrell Shavers. Josh Allen under center more this season than at any point in his career, and that helps set up the
is to be competitive in the NFC South. They could pick up a game on Tampa Bay, Brady, it looks like.
And they're going to run Mooney through the middle of the defense. It's going to help clear a window, and then it's just about Drake London elevating and high-pointing that football.
He was beat. Great throw. How about the deep ball accuracy? We've seen this all year on a deep post. Ball's already in the air. Look at this. It's on the money. And right there, he finishes it.
And it's just the elevation. The route's there. The ball just has to be right at the back of the end zone. It's not even Terrell's guy. They just said he flips a switch when he gets on the football field. Primarily used as almost a fullback. The way they use him in the run-blocking game as a tight end off the ball. But this is all just determination. What a play. Corey Thornton, who's in for Shaw Smith-Wade at that nickel position. Incredible concentration, strong.
Who's in there for the injured Jamel Dean was back for Tampa Bay. Yeah, and they saw that game last week, and they wanted to try Benjamin Morrison.
Doesn't out and up, but Stevens, for whatever reason, gets off of him. Eyes in the backfield. Nobody stays with Mac Hollins out there, and he keeps that right foot inbounds.
Tua has. There's Malik Washington. He's going up and over. And what you see is, that's Jalen Waddle. What you're going to see is that Malik Washington, Chris Moore is in the middle of this bunch. Hey, you know what? I like that. I like that a lot. I didn't realize that.
occupies the linebacker, and it gives him a window to be able to go up and over Hunter Henry. And what a job. Remember, Mac awareness, and eventually he finds that big hole right in the middle of that defense. What a year Mac Hollins is having, coming over from Buffalo.
The potential interception.
Yeah, Jaden Wall is coming all the way from the other side of the field. And it's just a go across all the way to the other side. And what Tua's doing is,
the catch is made by Zach Ertz for a gain of 15.
This 12 personnel is where they've really had success. Zach Ertz, one of the best tight ends in the game. He knows exactly when to bend the ball.
Yeah, he is. That's about the fourth time we've seen him. Instead of running out here, he's just kind of settling right here, like on a sail route that's a stop, and he just puts it right on him in between Hunter Henry and Stephon Diggs. Here they move him to be able to create. You got the matchup that you want against Isaiah Oliver, and I love the poise in that pocket.
Jalen Lane going in motion. Then he's going to go up and inside, and you see all the linebackers get sucked in. Juju Brandt's trying.
A few drops tonight. Mechie more of a slot guy, and he's another guy that came out of Alabama. Great.
Well, yeah. Was not like this.
I'm talking about the feet. I'm not talking about all that.
Oh, yeah.
Man-to-man coverage. Here's the thing.